Hello everyone, it's Pete here from the Pain Toolkit. So we've come nearly to the end of the this version of the Pain Toolkit for people with neuropathic pain. And by the way, Keith, I've forgot to say hello to you again. Good afternoon to you, Keith.
Hi Pete, good to see you.
Good to see you, man. So as I was saying, we've come to the coming to the end of the Pain Toolkit, and myself and Keith were both hoping that it's give you some ideas, really, give you some encouragement, perhaps some confidence to self-manage your pain. And Keith, I thought it'd be useful to, before we end the actual toolkit by doing a video, perhaps give the viewers some takeaway messages for self-managing their pain in the future, really. And if you want, shall I start off, and as it's neuropathic pain, I'll let you end up with it. But for me, I think the takeaway messages for me is a couple, really. Just keep it simple. Don't complicate self-management. It's not rocket science. It's about having good collaboration with your healthcare professional, teamwork, etc. Things that we talked about in the Pain Toolkit. I think mainly as well is keeping yourself in a driving seat, and I think when we allow ourselves to get back in the passenger seat, it's going to be, it could be a tough old journey. So it's about keeping yourself in the driver's seat. Ask questions. The Pain Toolkit isn't a panacea. It isn't like the font of the font of all knowledge. It's just really, always when I first wrote the original Pain Toolkit, it was just to get people started, really, and self-management is an ongoing learning process. I've been doing this 20 odd years now, and you know what, I've got to keep an open mind. What's that saying? I think you have to have your mind like a parachute. It's only useful when it's open, and if you have a closed mind, you're thinking yourself, well, I've cracked it. And this is we're still at school, really. So keep an open mind, keep learning, having an open mind, like a parachute, where you're willing to learn new ways. I'll tell you, as I become an older person, new things, other bits and bobs, problems come into your life as well with other. Perhaps we might get another one or two health conditions, etc. So it's all about how you can use the skills and knowledge that you learn from pain self-management to also managing those other health conditions as well. So Keith, listen, enough of me. I don't want to get off the show here, but Keith, I end over to you. What's the take-home messages for the viewers?
Oh, thanks, Pete. And you said a couple of things which I think are just really, really important. Probably one of the most important ones is keep it simple. It can be really easy. And I know for me, myself, and you've talked about it, we're all learning. You and I have been doing this for a long time, this being learning to live with our pain, but we're still learning all the time. We're keeping our parachute open. I love that, to keep learning. But you can get caught up in a lot of stuff that's going on out there and a lot of white noise and get confused as to what to do. But I believe, and I believe you think the same way, if we keep it simple and stick to the fundamentals and the basics, that's what's really important. And for neuropathic pain, like any other pain, but this neuropathic pain, because it's this little bit of a different thing, with the weird sensations and some of these oddities that can come with it, that pain is real. It is real, and what you feel is you're not crazy, you're not making this stuff up. That's how your body is reacting or interacts with your nervous system with this neuropathic pain. But there are fundamental things we can do to help ourselves. It's not going to make it go away. This toolkit that you and I are doing, like you said, perfect, is not the panacea. It's a couple of guys sharing our best advice as we learn and we continue to learn. But I think it touches on some of the fundamentals and of self-management with pain and neuropathic pain. It's doing what you can to help yourself. The relaxation is key. When you get into a tight spot, you overdo it. It's really important to take that step back, reset, have your setback plan. We've talked about it. If you pushed yourself too far, don't beat yourself up over that. Just know that you've gone too far and you need to dial it back. And it's okay. Like, a little bit of self-compassion is not a bad thing at all. You don't need to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. We've talked about resilience. It's important when you're down in that low, not to give up, not to become stressed out. Again, take a step back, take a deep breath, relax, and let yourself be able to bounce back up. Your pain is real, but it doesn't have to be all encompassing. And it's important as part of your self-management for neuropathic pain is to find movement of some kind that works for you. And whether it's exercise, whether going to the gym works for you, whether it's going for walks, whatever it is that you do that you like, that you will do, critically important, because I think it's important for anybody, even if it doesn't have an underlying health issue, is to move. More so when you have pain. I think you and I just intuitively know, and there's lots of research out there, but you and I know we feel better when we move. It might not make the pain go away, but this is not about making it going away. It's about living better with it. And you feel better, therefore you can deal with it better. So self-management is key. Keep it simple. Don't overdo it, and be really careful in a lot of the research of the stuff that you read on the internet, because it's kind of all over the place right now. And I think it's really important, and it's what I have to remind myself: take a step back and just stay on the fundamentals. Because neuropathic pain can be a bit of a challenge. We talked earlier about these pain flares that will just come out of nowhere, and they'll be quite almost debilitating. And I still have moments to this day where it'll drive me to my knees. I'll be fine, and then I'm just down on my knees. In the past, I used to fight against that, wind up going into the emergency rooms and having terrible interactions. I've now learned through my self-management how I can deal with that by relaxation, deep breathing, taking a step back. And that's what's healthy for me. And I think that's what's healthy for a lot of people. So it's probably my takeaway messages is it goes back to keep it simple. Yeah.
Nice one, Keith. And hope you got a lot from that. So we're coming to the end of this pain toolkit for people with neuropathic pain. So what next? That's a good question for you. And just to let you know that there are such things as pain toolkit workshops. They're only like 2.5 hours long, but we sort of expanded a little bit more on pain self-management. Listen, if there's enough interest from you guys out there in the UK or Canada, if there's enough interest, then we'll put on some workshops, very simple workshops, 2-hour workshops, where we can expand on pain self-management. But we ain't going to do it unless there's, it's no good us putting it on and no one turns up. So you've got to tell me and myself, Keith, I'm interested in coming on a workshop for neuropathic pain. And if there is interest out there, then just let us know via the website, which is www.paintoolkit.org/contact. Contact links on the website, and just drop us a line and we'll go from there. So, Keith, I think I think it's been a really pleasure talking to you throughout the videos, etc., expanding on neuropathic pain. I've learned a lot, and hopefully we can do some more other neuropathic pain work in the future. So thanks again, Keith, for taking part. And Keith, have you got a lasting message to say goodbye to the viewers?
I think I would just close it, Pete, with, I appreciate the opportunity to work with you on this. This has been really, I've learned a lot as I've gone through this as well. I said it before, this is not, we don't have all the answers. We're talking about the things that you and I have learned in our experiences. And I'm just hopeful that we've touched on some things that can help some people. And like you said, just, happy to be able to help people more if there's more information they need to share our experiences. You and I are not the experts. We don't have all the answers, but we're happy to help in any way we can. So I really appreciate the opportunity and I hope this has helped a few people.
Thanks, Keith. So see you later, guys, whoever's watching, and wherever you are in the world, whether you're good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, we wish you well. Okay, yeah. Take care, man. You look after yourself, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Pete. Thanks, everyone.
Ciao, man. Bye.
Bye.